Ladies, let me tell you something that every woman needs to understand. Men are not always as complicated as they seem. When a man has feelings for you, even if he tries to hide it, he'll show it through his actions because emotions leak through behavior. He may not say it, he may not know how to say it, but baby, it'll show. That's how men are built. When a man truly feels something for a woman, especially one he admires, respects, and maybe even fears losing, he doesn't always come right out and say it. See, a lot of women are waiting on that smooth talk, that confession of love, those magic words that go, I like you, I have feelings for you. But let me tell you, that's not always how it happens with men. Sometimes love shows up in the most uncomfortable ways. And the number one sign, he gets nervous or awkward around you. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Steve, why would a grown man be nervous around me if he likes me? That's the point right there. He's nervous because he likes you. You make his heart race. You make him second guess himself. And trust me, when a man starts feeling something real, he loses a little of that swagger. His confidence might dip just around you. And it's not because he's not sure of himself in general. It's because you matter. He's afraid of saying the wrong thing. He's afraid of not being good enough. He's afraid of you seeing through that tough exterior and finding out he's just a man trying to impress the woman he can't stop thinking about. You ever notice how he's cool with everybody else, but when he talks to you, he stumbles over his words, or maybe he tries too hard to be funny, or he avoids eye contact, or he gets quiet when he usually has a lot to say? That's not disinterest. That's a sign that his heart's in the game and his emotions are too strong for him to handle smoothly. Some men, they don't know how to process feelings, especially if they've been hurt before or if they don't believe they're ready for a relationship. So instead of coming forward with confidence, they get stuck in their own heads. Let me tell you something about men. We're taught to keep our emotions tight, to stay cool, to never show vulnerability. So when feelings creep in, especially deep feelings, they don't always come out polished. You'll see him acting a little clumsy around you, maybe standing too close and then backing up, maybe joking too much just to fill the silence, maybe looking at you and looking away real quick. He's trying to maintain control, but his body and his energy are betraying him. That's emotion, that's heart, that's truth trying to squeeze out between the cracks. Sometimes a man won't even realize he's acting nervous around you. He'll go home and replay every word he said to you that day, wondering if he sounded dumb, if he said too much or not enough. That's not just a guy being awkward. That's a man who cares. When he doesn't care, he's smooth. When he does care, you make him stumble. Why? Because what you think of him suddenly matters more than anything else. Your opinion, your reaction, your energy. It becomes important, and that shakes up even the most confident man. You want to know if he's hiding his feelings? Watch how he behaves when you walk into the room. Does he suddenly get quiet? Does he straighten up? Does he act distracted but keep glancing your way? That's not just him being polite or casual. That's a man who's fighting a storm inside, trying to hold it together, trying not to show his cards too early. He's nervous. And not because he's weak, but because you've got the power to make him feel something he wasn't prepared to feel. Let me tell you something else. If a man never gets a little nervous around you, if he's always too smooth, too perfect, too chill, he may not be all the way in emotionally. Because real feelings, real love, that comes with a little vulnerability. And vulnerability ain't comfortable. It shows up as nervousness. It shows up as awkward silence. It shows up in his fidgeting hands or his cracking voice. That's not a turnoff, baby. That's proof. Proof that you matter more than he can say. So don't overlook the nervous guy. Don't ignore the awkward moments. Don't misread his silence as indifference. That might be the man who loves you the deepest, but is terrified of messing up what could be the best thing in his life. And that right there is what real hidden love looks like when it's trying not to be seen. When a man is truly feeling something for a woman, the first place it shows is not in what he says, but in how he acts. And I'm telling you right now, if you want to know if a man is hiding his feelings for you, look no further than how nervous or awkward he gets around you. That's one of the most telling signs. Now, most women miss this because they're looking for confidence, smooth talk, and that alpha male behavior. But I'll tell you something, when a man is trying to keep his feelings under control and he's scared of saying or doing the wrong thing, that's when he starts to fumble. That's when the truth starts slipping out in his behavior. See, a man who's hiding his feelings is often a man who's not ready to be vulnerable. Men aren't raised to talk about emotions, we're told, to be strong, to keep it together, to never let them see you sweat. But when a woman comes along that gets to a man's heart, that whole idea goes out the window. Suddenly he starts to care how he looks, how he sounds, what he says. He may seem calm around everyone else, but around you, he becomes cautious. He becomes unsure. His words might get jumbled. His actions might feel off. And that's not because he's not interested. It's because he's too interested. That kind of awkwardness you see in him is not weakness, it's emotion. He's trying to be perfect in front of you. He's trying to protect his heart. He's trying to say the right thing and not come off too strong. And in doing that, he ends up making little mistakes. He might laugh too hard at your joke. He might compliment you in a way that sounds forced. Or he might say something that makes no sense at all because his mind is running faster than his mouth. What you're seeing is a man who is struggling with his feelings, and instead of expressing them, he's burying them behind awkward behavior. Have you ever noticed how he suddenly stands up straighter when you walk in the room? Or how he looks at you and then quickly looks away like he got caught? Or how he seems confident in front of others, but around you, he quiets down or loses his words? That's not just coincidence. That's not just shyness. That's a man caught between his desire to be close to you and his fear of being exposed. Because once he says how he feels, that armor comes off. That control he's been holding on to is gone. And that's terrifying for a man who's been taught that control equals strength. Now, some women will look at this man and think he's disinterested. They'll say, if he liked me, he'd act more confident, he'd be clear, he'd flirt, he'd chase me. But baby, that's not always how it works. Some men chase loud. Others chase quiet. Some express through words. Others express through restraint. That nervousness you see, that fidgeting, that weird shift in conversation, that's not rejection. That's intensity. That's a man putting in emotional effort not to mess up, not to come on too strong, not to let you see just how deep his feelings run too soon. You know how you can tell he's nervous? Watch how he acts around other people, then compare it to how he acts around you. If he's the life of the party with everyone else, cracking jokes, making conversation, but turns serious or awkward around you, you've got something. He's not changing because he's disinterested. He's changing because you have an effect on him that he doesn't know how to control. That's fear disguised as formality. That's love hidden behind polite. It could even be physical. Maybe his hands tremble when he hands you something. Maybe he touches his face more when you talk. Maybe he adjusts his clothes, his hair, or his phone a lot around you. These are nervous behaviors. These are signs of someone whose emotions are bubbling under the surface. When you make a man nervous in this way, it means he's not looking at you casually. He's thinking about you more than he's letting on. He's seeing you not just as a friend, not just as a pretty face, but as someone who could matter. And that, my dear, shakes him up. What makes it worse? or better, depending on how you look at it, is that he probably doesn't even realize he's doing these things. He might go home and replay every interaction with you, wondering if he came off strange. He might beat himself up over not saying what he wanted to say. That's because he cares. And when a man cares but doesn't know how to say it, his body language speaks for him. He may not confess, but his energy already has. So when you see a man get tongue-tied, awkward, or off balance around you, don't be so quick to dismiss it. That's not him being uninterested. That's him being overwhelmed. His heart is louder than his voice, and he's trying to control it. But real emotion always leaks out. Nervousness, in this case, is not a flaw. It's a confession. One he's not quite ready to make, but one you can hear if you listen close enough. When a man is hiding his feelings for you, he may not say much with his mouth, but baby, he'll speak volumes with what he notices. One of the most powerful signs that a man is secretly into you is how closely he pays attention to the little things, those tiny details you don't even think twice about. Now, listen, men don't just go around remembering random things for no reason. If a man can tell you how you like your coffee, if he remembers that story you told him once about your childhood dog, or he notices when your mood is off even though you're smiling, that ain't accidental. That's intentional. That's personal. That's emotion trying to peek through the crack. Most women underestimate this kind of attention because they're used to men showing interest through grand gestures. But I'm here to tell you something real. A man who notices the little things is a man who is emotionally invested. That's not just friendship. That's a deeper connection trying to stay hidden. And the reason he's quiet about it, he may be unsure, scared, or trying to protect himself. But the attention is the truth. That's how his heart is speaking when his mouth won't. Think about this. He knows your favorite snack without you ever asking for it. He compliments you on the smallest changes, like a new shade of nail polish or the way you did your hair differently that day. He hears things you mention in passing and brings them up weeks later. You didn't even remember saying it, but he remembered. Why? Because when he listens to you, he's not just hearing noise, he's hearing you. That's what men do when they care. They tune in deeper. They store little pieces of you in their mind because you're not just someone he knows, you're someone he feels. Sometimes it's not even what he says, it's what he does. He might show up for you with something you need without you ever asking. You casually said once that you're always cold in the office, and the next week he surprises you with a sweater. You mention a favorite artist or book, and suddenly he starts talking about it too. That's not coincidence, that's intention. That's him trying to create a bridge between you and him, even if he doesn't yet have the courage to walk all the way across it. He might even get quiet when he sees something's off with you. You didn't say you're sad, but he noticed you've been a little distant, or you've stopped laughing at things the way you used to. He checks on you. He brings it up gently. That man is in tune with your spirit in a way that only comes from emotional connection. He may not say, I like you, but he's showing you, I see you. And being seen, truly seen, that's rare, that's valuable. That's love trying to breathe underneath fear. What's powerful is how subtle it all is. He might not be sending you roses or writing you poetry, but he's picking up on everything you are. He knows how you take your tea, when you usually get sleepy, how your voice changes when you're excited. That's not surface level interest. That's a man who is emotionally present, watching you closely, learning you piece by piece. That's the kind of man who could be falling in love and doesn't know how to say it yet. You've got to understand something about men. We don't always know how to talk about feelings. We show it in ways that make sense to us. One of those ways is observation. We pay attention to the woman we want. We study her, not to control her, but to understand her. And when a man starts noticing things nobody else sees, when he starts remembering details that seem small to you, that's him stepping closer, even if he's not making a move. And here's the kicker, he might not do this with anyone else. He might forget other people's birthdays or miss other folks' milestones, but with you, he's on it. You're different to him. That's why you're not just another name in his phone. You're the one he's mentally writing chapters about. And if he's doing all this in silence, if he's keeping it low key, then he's probably wrestling with his own emotions, trying to figure out what to do about what he feels. Some men hide their feelings because of timing, fear of rejection, or just not knowing how to handle something so real. But the way he remembers what you love, the way he brings up little things from past conversations, the way he reacts to your moods without you saying a word, that's his heart speaking louder than any words ever could. That's not just friendly behavior. That's emotional devotion disguised as casual conversation. You just have to be wise enough to recognize it. So if you're dealing with a man who's unusually observant, who remembers details about you, who makes small adjustments based on your needs without you asking, don't write him off because he hasn't said the words. That kind of attention is personal, it's rare, and it's real. That's a man who may be hiding his feelings, but only because they're stronger than he knows how to handle. When a man is trying to hide his feelings for you, there's one emotion he just can't keep locked away, and that's jealousy. Now, he might not come out and say, I'm jealous, because most men don't like admitting that. It makes us feel exposed, vulnerable, like we've lost control. But trust me, if a man has feelings for you that he hasn't admitted, the minute he sees you talking about, laughing with, or paying attention to another man, something inside him shifts. He may try to play it cool. He may act like it doesn't bother him, but baby, it bothers him. It bothers him more than he'll ever tell you. Jealousy in a man who's hiding his feelings doesn't always come out loud. It can be silent. You'll see it in his eyes, in the way his mood changes, in how the energy in the room shifts. You are laughing, having a good time, and then you mention another guy's name, and suddenly he goes quiet. He doesn't smile the same. He starts fidgeting, checking his phone, or just distances himself. That ain't just random. That's his heart reacting to something he doesn't feel entitled to, but deeply wants. And because he hasn't told you how he feels, he's stuck watching from the sidelines while someone else walks onto the field. You ever notice how he suddenly starts questioning you? Asking more about your plans, who you're going out with, where you're going, what time you'll be back. That's not just casual curiosity. That's him trying to figure out who's in your space. That's him low-key trying to assess the competition. He may not want to admit it to himself, but when another man gets close to you, it ignites something inside him. And if he really cares, he won't like it, but because he hasn't claimed his feelings, he can't claim you either. So all that energy sits inside him with nowhere to go. Sometimes his jealousy won't even be direct. He won't call the guy out. He won't even mention his name, but he'll throw shade in a slick way. Maybe he jokes about how the guy dresses, or he downplays his achievements. He'll act like he's not impressed. But that's not coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from a place of fear. Fear that you might give someone else the time, attention, or love he secretly wishes was his. That's not hate. It's insecurity wrapped up in silence. Men are territorial by nature. We might not show it like women expect, but deep down, when we feel something for a woman, we want to protect that bond, even if it's not official yet. And jealousy, whether it comes out quiet or loud, is that instinct kicking in. That's him saying without saying, I want to be the only one you're looking at like that. I want to be the one who makes you laugh, who holds your hand, who you call first when you're happy or hurting. But because he's not ready to admit those feelings, he holds it in, and it burns. Sometimes he'll even try to distract himself by pretending he's interested in someone else. He might start mentioning other girls, talking about someone texting him, or flirting with another woman right in front of you. And the reason he's doing that, it's not because he's moved on. It's because he's hoping you'll react. He wants to see if you feel anything. He's trying to match the jealousy he's feeling, even though he'd never tell you that out loud. That's a man trying to play defense with his heart, hoping he doesn't look too obvious, but still hoping you'll notice. It's important to know that jealousy doesn't always mean someone's toxic or possessive. In the case of a man who's hiding his feelings, it's often just a reflection of how much he truly cares. He sees you as valuable. He sees you as someone special. And the idea of someone else having what he secretly wants, that shakes him. That disturbs his peace. So instead of talking to you about it, he keeps it inside, but it shows. It always shows. He might even distance himself a little after seeing you close with another man, not because he's angry at you, but because he's hurt and confused. He's trying to manage emotions he doesn't know how to control. He doesn't want to come off needy or dramatic, so he chooses silence, but inside he's battling questions. He's wondering if he waited too long, if he missed his chance, if the door is closing and he never even knocked. That's the torment of hidden feelings mixed with jealousy. It keeps a man stuck in between wanting to step forward and being too scared to try. A man who gets jealous but tries to hide it isn't doing it to manipulate you. He's doing it because he's trying to protect his pride, his heart, and his fear of rejection all at once. But if you look closely, jealousy will tell you what his words don't. It will tell you that you mean more to him than he's letting on. It will tell you that somewhere deep down, he's hoping you'll see it and maybe give him a reason to finally admit what he's been feeling all along. When a man is truly feeling something for you, even if he's trying to keep it to himself, is going to show up in one powerful way. He's there for you, no matter what. No title, no label, no official relationship, but he shows up consistently, genuinely, quietly. A man doesn't invest time, energy, and presence into a woman he doesn't care about. That's not how we're wired. If he's in your life, supporting you, listening to you, protecting your peace, even when there's nothing in it for him, trust and believe. There's something deeper going on. Men don't do emotional labor just to pass the time. If he's checking in on you when you're down, if he's calling to make sure you got home safe, if he's picking you up when your car breaks down or helping you move or giving you advice when life feels and you two ain't even officially together, that man is operating from the heart. That man is showing you what you mean to him without saying it directly. And why doesn't he say it? Maybe fear, maybe timing, maybe insecurity, but the behavior is clear. His presence is louder than any confession. See, when a man truly cares about a woman, he doesn't always say, I love you. Sometimes he says, I got you. He's the one you can count on when things fall apart. He's the one who remembers your big day, who shows up for your little wins, who sits quietly beside you when you just need to cry. He's not trying to win points. He's not doing it to impress you. He's doing it because your happiness matters to him. Your well-being matters. And even though he may not know what to call that feeling, it's love working its way to the surface. A man doesn't keep showing up for a woman he feels nothing for. That's the truth. We are intentional with our energy. If he keeps being there without asking for anything in return, it's not because he's bored. It's because being around you fulfills something in him that he doesn't even fully understand yet. And he may be fighting those feelings. He may not know how to handle what's going on inside him, but that doesn't stop him from being drawn to you, from wanting to be your peace, from wanting to protect what you two have, even if there's no title on it. You might never say it out loud, but he's treating you like someone who matters. When you talk, he listens, really listens. When you vent, he doesn't interrupt. When you're overwhelmed, he offers help. And he's not doing this because he's obligated. He's doing it because something in you speaks to something in him. And the reason he doesn't pull away, even though the relationship hasn't been defined, is because his soul already made the connection. His words just haven't caught up yet. Sometimes this man will even support your dreams like they're his own. He'll encourage your goals, cheer for your progress, and believe in you when you don't even believe in yourself. That's not casual. That's not friendship without feelings. That's a man who sees you as someone special, someone he values deeply. And because he may be afraid to lose what he has with you, he keeps his mouth shut. He stays in the friend zone, but his actions say otherwise. He's emotionally attached. He's invested. And he's hoping, maybe even silently praying. You'll notice before he loses the nerve to keep showing up. Men don't do emotional consistency for women they're not serious about. If a man is always around, always available when it counts, always stepping up when things get real, it's because something inside of him is anchored to you. That man is making sacrifices. That man is paying attention. And even if he never says a word about how he feels, he's building a foundation with every action. He's proving his loyalty without the label. And that's the clearest sign his heart's already involved, even if his mouth hasn't said it yet. Now, not every man has the courage to come forward with his feelings. Some have been hurt before. Some think they're not enough. Some are waiting for the perfect time. But no matter what's holding him back, his presence reveals what his pride tries to hide. Because when a man truly feels something, he won't be able to walk away. He might back up for a while. He might pull away when things get too emotional, but somehow, some way, he always finds his way back to you. Not because he's playing games, but because you're the one place he feels something real, even if he can't name it. Let me know when you're ready for more or want all 7 signs in a complete speech. I've got you.